If you are someone who's still stuck on playing the same old FPS games for the last 5 years, the games like Counter-Strike 2, Valorant, PUBG, Overwatch or even Destiny 2, there is no denying that now is the perfect time for a serious upgrade. So this video is absolutely for the one who looking for something new, something fresh and something that is actually trending right now in the FPS world. And the best part is all of these games are 100% free to play. So whether you are into tactical gameplay, chaotic team fights or just raw satisfying gun mechanics, here are 10 of the best free FPS games that are popping off right now in 2025. Starting at number 10, we got the most unique battle royale to came out in 2025, and that is Mini Royale. It's a super fun, free-to-play, more like a casual battle royale game where you play as these little green army toy soldiers battling it out in this giant kid's bedroom. The map is surprisingly large, very colorful and bright with this oversized environment like curtain rods and action figures make room for some chaotic combat scenarios. And talking about the gunplay, I would say it's somewhat average compared to some of the other games on our today's list, but still fun to shoot around with. It's fast pace and doesn't take itself too seriously. You can swing around using a grappling hook, slide down slopes, and even jump in from higher places using your parachute. So all in all, it works like a typical battle royale game, but the game just launched into early access on Steam, so it still needs a lot of improvements. Right now there are a few game modes in the game. Obviously you have the battle royale mode, which you can play on solo, duo or trio on both first person and third person perspective. We also got deathmatch and also a very unique game mode called Color Conquest. It's definitely a fun battle royale game to check out in 2025. Initial release was very much a success, but right now the popularity is kind of dialed down. Hopefully we will see more updates and improvements in the upcoming few months. I recently jumped back into Halo Infinite multiplayer on Steam, and honestly, it's still pretty fun to play. The gunplay is tight like classic Halo but smoother. We got the familiar time to kill and the grenades that actually matter, and also we cannot forget about the satisfying melee combat. And I'm sure you guys remember the game had a pretty rough launch, and ever since the game came out, it had gone through so much. But with all the updates, the changes that they add to the game, I would say right now, it's in a pretty good state to play in 2025. We got the familiar Halo game modes like Slayer, Capture the Flag, Oddball, Big Team Battle, which are pure chaos in the best possible way. And also they added classic maps, new game modes, and even the map rotation is now way better than it was at launch. All in all, it's a pretty good time to jump in and enjoy Halo again. Even if you're a beginner or someone who played the game at launch, still there is so much fun to be had here. Moving on to number 8, we got Enlisted, one of the best free-to-play tactical World War II shooters you can play right now. So basically in this game, you just don't play as a single soldier, you can control an entire squad by yourself. Basically you're just running around blasting dudes, but when you get sniped, you simply swap into another squad mate instantly. It's kind of feel like you're controlling and commanding your own little fire team. The gameplay is super chaotic but in a good way. There are some huge, large-scale maps, tanks rolling through buildings, planes flying overhead. It gives you that full-scale war vibe just like Battlefield, but it's much more grounded. The game also offers different World War II campaigns like Normandy or Eastern Front, and each campaign has its own weapons, factions and gear which keep things fresh. Also got different game modes like Invasion and Conquest. All in all, a solid game to play in 2025, but I'm personally not happy with the servers. The game doesn't have enough servers, and also it's a bit grindy compared to some of the other free-to-play games. But if you're into historical shooters and want something a bit more tactical, no doubt it's one of the best games you can play right now. Moving on to a fun battle royale game that's kinda growing slowly ever since the game came out on Steam, and yes, I'm talking about Bloodstrike. This is a fast-paced, free-to-play battle royale game, kind of a blend between Call of Duty Warzone and Apex Legends, but an ideal game to play if you have a low to mid-range PC. It's fast-paced and action-packed. You can jump into various game modes like the Battle Royale, Squad Fight and Hot Zone. Obviously the Battle Royale mode is the most popular one here. There is a large map and also a small, kinda like a resurgence style of a mode also available, which is very popular among players. On top of everything, you can select different characters called strikers, each with unique abilities. Some can deploy heal drones and others can set up shield walls, basic things like that. Adds a bit of a strategic layer to the game. All in all, it's a fun first-person shooter to check out right now if you want something like Call of Duty Warzone but don't want to waste time downloading hundreds of gigs to play the game. This is one of the best free-to-play options available on the market right now. Despite having a bit of a rough launch onto early access, Arena Breakout Infinite had to be one of the best up-and-coming free-to-play tactical extraction shooters you can play right now on PC. But if you search the game on Steam, it still say coming soon. If you want to jump into the game right now, you can simply go ahead and download the launcher from their official website. So this one is basically like Escape from Tarkov, but way more polished and way more forgiving, plus is totally free to play. The gameplay is super slow and tactical. This is not for the one who love playing games like Call of Duty where you can run around and shoot people. It's all about sneaking, looting, and managing your gear and surviving long enough to extract with your stuff. You can go solo or squad up with your friends, and also there is a cool weight system where your movement actually changes based on what you're carrying. The gunplay in this game is one of the best I've seen in a free-to-play game with realistic sound design and animation. There is also a very comprehensive gunsmithing system with tons of customization available in the game. It's not the most easiest game to get into, especially as a beginner, but if you spend some time learning the in and out, it's definitely worth your time. Hopefully the game will be coming out soon on Steam, but if you want to jump in right now, make sure to download the launcher from their official website. If you're tired of playing the same old 5v5 shooters like Valorant or Counter-Strike, it is time for you to try out something new. So next up, we got Fragpunk. The game actually came out on PC a couple of months ago. Initial launch was a massive success, and they also recently launched the game on the console side as well. So this one is a brand new free-to-play 5v5 tactical shooter. It's kind of like Valorant and Apex had a baby. You got a whole roster of agents with unique skills and abilities. It's super fast-paced, very twitchy, and very aim-heavy, but what really sets this apart are these things called shard cards. So before start of each round, you and your team can pick up to 3 of these different cards that literally change the rule of every match. You can use it to flip gravity, instant reloads, invisibility after kills. Adds a bit of a fresh strategical layer to the game, but I personally found this shard card mechanics a bit annoying, especially if you decide to play the game more competitively and try to grind ranks. It's a bit hard to get used to, but if you jump in and just want to have some fun time, these shard cards different combinations are really fun to play around with. Other than the 5v5 mode, there is team deathmatch, free for all. There's a bunch of other arcade modes which are super fun to play. It is hands down one of the most unique games to came out this year, and somehow if you haven't tried out the game yet, now is probably the best time to do so. Alright, Call of Duty Warzone is something you already heard about, but here's the lockdown in case you haven't played it in a while. Yes, Warzone is back, and back in a big way thanks to the most recent Verdansk update, bringing that classic map into the game, and thankfully bringing some much needed attention to the game. And this is me jumping into Warzone after almost 3 years, purely for the nostalgic factor, and also with the recent Season 4 launch, they're bringing some fan favorite mode like Crash, introduce a chaotic mid-season event called Havoc Royale, and even a more casual friendly Resurgent mode, which is ideal for people who are seeking a more less intensive experience. So if you're someone like me who haven't played the game in a while, now is probably the best time to jump in and enjoy. And obviously if you are a Warzone fan, I'm sure you're already playing the game by now. Next up, we got the Finals, and there's no denying that the Finals is one of the most impressive FPS games that came out in the last couple of years, with incredibly polished gunplay, fully destructible environment, and tons of game modes for both casual and competitive play. So in this game, you're literally in a game show. It's like a futuristic esport tournament with sponsors, flashy overlays, and an announcer hyping up everything you do. The game focuses a lot on team-based combat. You can choose between different builds, small, medium, and heavy. Each comes with their own unique pros and cons. And your goal isn't just to get kill, it's to steal cash from the other team and secure your spot as the winner. If you focus more on the competitive side, there's a whole leaderboard you can grind ranks and level up. But recently they focus a lot on adding more casual, quick game modes to the game, which I'm a big fan of. All in all, Finals is one of the most complete free-to-play FPS games on the market right now. So if you're looking for a proper first-person shooter game to spend your time on, this is going to be my #1 recommendation. Alright, next up we're going to talk about a game that just dropped on last week, and it is Splitgate 2. As a fan of the original game, this is one of my most anticipated free game to came out this year, and I'm so glad they launched the game so we can finally get our hands on experience with it. Anyway, the game is still on beta, more like an open beta, but you can literally play the game until the game fully released by the end of this year. So it is more like an early access period, and it's totally free to download on Steam and also on consoles. So if you're someone who never heard about Split Game, it's more like a combination of Halo and Portal combined with fast-paced gunplay, super smooth movement, and of course Portal gameplay. So I'm someone who already spent decent amount of time playing the original game, so this game Splitgate 2 feels more polished, the movements are cleaner, weapons feel punchier, and the maps are super well designed for Portal play, so you can get creative with all the flanks and escapes. But the game still very much feel like an early access title. There's still a decent amount of game modes like Team Deathmatch, Domination, Oddball, but hopefully we'll be able to see more improvements, more game modes, and more new content when the game fully launch on late summer. Right now you can jump in and download the game totally free on Steam, and recently the game peaked more than 12,000 daily concurrent players on Steam, so obviously it's a great time to jump in and enjoy the game if you're looking for something more interesting and unique to play. Alright, moving on to number 1 spot, we got Delta Force, the free-to-play tactical first-person shooter that I personally spend most of my time playing. This is the return of a classic, beloved franchise, and now it's totally free-to-play as well. And for those who don't know about Delta Force, it's a free-to-play military multiplayer tactical first-person shooter, very similar to a game like Battlefield, with a 64-player large-scale Conquer style of a mode, with incredible gunplay, tons of weapons, and destructible environment. There is also a 3-player extraction mode similar to Call of Duty DMZ mode. On top of everything, they also launched a single-player / co-op campaign called Black Hawk Down, which is a remastered version of a classic game, and that is also surprisingly completely free to download on Steam. So the amount of content that you're getting for the price that you pay, which is literally free, it's absolutely insane. And they also launched the mobile version for the Android and iOS recently, which is also keep getting more and more popular. So if you're in the market for a Battlefield-like experience but don't want to spend any money, there's no doubt Delta Force is the best option you got right now. Well, there you have it, guys. 10 of the best completely free-to-play first-person shooter games that are trending in 2025 right now. And go ahead and drop a comment down below mentioning what is your favorite games from our today's list. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel. I'll catch you guys soon in the next one. Stay safe.